welcome back to my video, welcome back to my channel. Again, testing. I asked Stahlwerk, can you give me a little bit feedback? They sent me a video with two examples. The first example is a thicker material with 120 amps and 21 volts, and I have the conductivity at the same setting as I normally weld with. Normally I weld this type of material with 150 amps and 19 volts. So now I'm at 21 volts and at 120 amps instead of 150 amps and 19 volts. So lower in amps, higher in volts. Now, if you watched my previous videos, the problem that I have is that I have very thick welds. Now, I will show you. So here I have an example of my, well, you can literally see how thick that weld is on top of it. So, I've made these welds. They look nice, but they're just really thick. They're just really thick. So now I use the setup that Stahlwerk advised in their video. And this is with thicker materials similar as what I've been welding. And so this is the result. So I think it's thinner. Oh. It's definitely thinner than what I had. Definitely flatter. So that's a good starting point. It welds. It sounds very crisp like bacon. I will show the video now that I welded. And the other video, the other setting, I will check. Okay, so I just welded with 120 amps. Oh wait, there it's wrong. So I was still welding with 120 amps and 21 volts, and I got this beautiful weld here, and this welds like butter, so this is all good. But I thought I already set the machine up to weld this thin material, which is 50 amps and 17.5 volts. But I only wrote it down for memory, but I didn't set the machine up. Silly me. So let's try that again. The setting for the thicker material, that one works like a charm. The welds are flatter and they're very nice still. And the welding is also nice. So finally, we're going in the right direction. That's good. So this is 50 amps, 17.5 volts. This is also by Stahlwerk video, the preferred setting for thin material. So I think I have here 1 mil. Should be good for 1 mil. So it goes much better than the other one, but you have to work a little bit faster, I think. So I'm going to try to do the angle one. So I am going through still. So I made a lot of holes in this already, but this is what I welded with 120 amps and 21 volts. So try again. Yeah, so if I try to weld in one smooth pull, then I'm going almost straight through. If I do tags, then it goes fine. Let's try a little bit more. See, I keep going straight through the material. I don't know how thin it is. Maybe it's even half a mil, so maybe it's just too thin. Let's grab a different piece. So the welds are really nice, but it needs to be a little bit thicker than what I have here, because this is just way too thin. I think it's half a mil, so that's too thin. So I just cleaned the welds up. What I use is this steel brush on my Mayco drill. This is the 18 volt one. You need a powerful drill because it gives a lot of resistance cleaning this. So yeah, I think as you can see, these are some nice welds. And what I'm looking at myself always is that at the bottom there you can see this little lip. I don't know if he picks it up. but the little raised edge there is a little bit there. I always try to prevent that, but okay. Yeah, the welds look, I think, nice, and they're also a little bit flatter. So I think we are going in the right direction. So this again, 120 amps and 21 volts. Now grabbing the other one again. So this was a little bit thinner material, but not much thinner. It's like 2.5 mil or something. And these are the welds I did with 50 amps and 17.5 volts. The top one I didn't move the torch, I just pulled it along, and the bottom one I also moved the torch a little bit from the left to the right to get a wider weld. Yeah, I think they look fine. Also gas wise, I had the feeling that I had some gas bubbles or some issues with these welds earlier on. Looks like there were some holes like this one. See, looks like there's a hole in the weld, so the weld integrity is not good there also. It seems like the welds are damaged there. So I think I welded here with too little gas. Also in the manual it says you have to use a little bit more gas. So normally they say 8 liters, I now have it set at 10. The manual also says 10. So I used 10 liters of gas, and then yeah, the welds come out very nicely. So yeah, obviously with every device you have to play around a little bit. As I mentioned, there's a Miller app, for example, that helps you to set up the machine. But if you do that with this machine, then your settings are too high. So I found one of the videos and they have 2 examples. The first example is 120 amps, 21 volts. That one works fine for thicker materials. That's these welds here. So they're nice welds. And then the other one is the 17.5 volt and the 50 amp. So they also work well. So now we just have to try and figure out a couple of welds that are in between. Now the other thing I want to mention is the inductivity. Now I welded now with 3 different settings. So the 50 amps 17.5 volts that you can see right now, the 120 amps with 21 volts, and the 150 amps with 19 volts. And I all weld with the inductivity here at, let's say, position 3. I don't change the inductivity in all these settings. Last time that I tried the machine, what I was trying to do, because in the manual it says something like it's counter the amperage. So if the amperage is, the dial is to this side, I thought the conductivity dial needs to be to the opposite side. But that just doesn't seem to work for me, at least. The problem also that I had when I was playing with the conductivity is that once the material was cold, it either welded or it didn't weld, and once the material got hot, it didn't weld or it did weld. So, and now with this setting, everything seems to be perfect. Yeah. So progress. That's good. So in the month February 2022, Stahlwerk has a discount going on, so I bought a couple of little things for myself to help with the welding. First that I did is I bought these little angular magnets. I have the triangle magnets, but not these ones. So I want to try one. There was a 4-pack, so I have these. I have a couple of pliers. I bought them to clamp down steel parts when I'm welding, and I also bought an angle tool where you can, 2 tubes at a 45-degree angle, you slide them in, clamp them down so they don't move, weld them up, take them out of the little jig, and then move on. I have one of those as well, and I bought a multi-tool, like a pliers with the knife and the saw and blah blah blah. I will check out how they work out. But yeah, so I bought a couple of other things to help me with welding. Today I think we made good progress. What I want to do is make a little Excel list to see what the ratio is between the amps and the voltage that I used right now, to see if I can sort out other welding settings basically. So for example, a setting at 19 volts with a lower amperage, and or with a different yeah, well, I just want to use the settings that I found today that worked, and I want to try and see if I can make other yeah, parameters basically work for me. Hot. Now this side is without cleaning the material, and this side is with cleaning the material, so taking off the mill scale and also spraying a little bit of contact spray on there, that you also spray in your tip of the torch. And yeah, as you can see, this side is way nicer, and yeah, the weld is just way smaller than what I used to have. Maybe you heard me say that I want to have a chamfer and not like you know, a dome shaped weld. Well, now we have a chamfer. If you look at these welds as well, they are chamfered. So I think that's very positive. We have found a way to get better results. And again, what I already mentioned in one of the first videos is welding is something that gives you the result of the amount of preparation that you put in. So right now I'm just happy that the welder is working for me. So I just started welding for the second time and didn't prepare the material, didn't take off the weld scale of the mill scale, and I also didn't spray the contact spray. So that gives me a little bit of dirtier weld. It also, you know, the start of the weld is a little bit more difficult, whereas here I prepared the material, I put a little contact spray on it, and you can see the end result is way nicer. Yeah, that was it basically for today. A couple of testing videos, as you've seen, and yeah, I think we're getting better at better welds, and now it's just waiting for a bigger project where we can test all our new knowledge and test the machine a little bit better, and let's see how that goes. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.